In southern Ukraine, a Ukrainian MiG-29 successfully destroyed a Russian battalion command post. Reconnaissance units had identified Russian troops and equipment gathering inside an abandoned building. Once the coordinates were confirmed, they were relayed to Ukrainian pilots who executed a precision strike. The attack reportedly eliminated key personnel and disrupted Russian operational planning in the area. This strike highlights the growing coordination between Ukrainian air power and ground intelligence teams. The operation underscores Ukraine's ability to deliver targeted blows deep behind enemy lines, using fast jets in conjunction with real-time battlefield intelligence. Remains of a Russian crossing destroyed UAV operators from the Sicario drone unit successfully destroyed remains of a bridge passing in the southern direction using bomb drops from a hexacopter. Ukraine has made it a strategic priority to destroy Russian river crossings, pontoon bridges, and ferry routes to disrupt enemy operations along key front lines. These strikes are aimed at slowing Russian advances, isolating forward-deployed units, and complicating supply lines for fuel, ammunition, and reinforcements. Ukrainian artillery, drones, and air power routinely target makeshift crossings across rivers like the Dnipro, Seversky Donets, and others. By severing these vital links, Ukraine not only delays Russian troop movements, but also creates windows of opportunity for counterattacks. In some cases, stranded Russian units have been forced to retreat or fight without resupply under constant Ukrainian fire. These targeted operations are part of a broader tactic to stretch Russian logistics thin, force them into predictable choke points, and degrade their overall operational tempo. Destroying crossings also limits Russia's ability to maneuver heavy equipment, reducing pressure on Ukrainian defensive lines and buying critical time for repositioning or reinforcement. In Germany, Russians set fire to a parking lot with Bundeswehr army trucks at a military facility in Erfurt. A Russian Telegram channel published the footage. The authors of the Russian channel claimed that our people burned military equipment that allegedly belonged to the Ukrainian army and was taken to Erfurt for maintenance. The video captures at least 6 Rheinmetall MAN trucks of various modifications on fire. However, the distinctive Bundeswehr crosses and German license plates are clearly visible on their sides, indicating that they belong to the Bundeswehr. Given the equipment type, it can be assumed that it belonged to a part of the Bundeswehr's Strategic Logistics Command, located in Erfurt. It is responsible for coordinating logistics operations, transportation, supply, and training of logistics units. The trucks themselves were supposed to be located on the territory of a military unit, which, in turn, in addition to the fact of sabotage, also entails penetration of a German military facility. Russia has launched active subversive and intelligence activities of its special services in Germany. For example, in April last year, German special police detained 2 Russians of German descent who were filming sensitive military facilities and preparing a series of explosions at military infrastructure, defense companies, and industrial facilities. At the same time, German counterintelligence exposed a 54-year-old Bundeswehr captain who was passing military information to the Russian side. Already this year, a sabotage was carried out on board the new German F-266 Emden corvette. Unknown persons put several dozen kilograms of metal shavings into one of the diesel engines. The interference was detected in time, but in the opposite situation, it could have led to serious damage to the power plant and a long period of time for the ship to be out of commission. It is reported that in 2023, the Russian Main Directorate of the General Staff, GRU, established a new structural unit dedicated to conducting sabotage operations in Europe. It has 3 main tasks: organizing assassinations and sabotage abroad, infiltrating Western companies and institutions, and recruiting foreign agents. Given the focus of its activities, its staff includes experienced agents who have previously participated in serious operations, including the poisoning of Sergei Skripal in 2018. Some of the unit's most high-profile operations included the use of incendiary devices on DHL cargo planes and attempted arson attacks in European cities, including Leipzig and Warsaw. Russia has withdrawn a significant part of its troops from the Kaliningrad region to redeploy them for other missions. Polish Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski stated this during the NATO summit in The Hague, according to the outlet Slawa. According to Sikorski, the joint Russian-Belarusian Zapad 2025 military exercises, which are scheduled to take place in Belarus, have reportedly been moved deeper into the country in an effort to reduce tensions along the borders with neighboring states. However, Sikorski expressed doubt about the accuracy of the information regarding the relocation of the exercises further away from the Polish border. He also noted that the maneuvers will be conducted on a smaller scale because Russia's best military units are already involved in the war against Ukraine. Additionally, Russia is forced to form new units along the border with Finland, which stretches its forces, the minister added. The Kaliningrad region has always been a focus of particular interest for Polish intelligence. Today, Kaliningrad is a semi-exclave of Russia. It has no land border with the main part of the country and is connected to it only by sea. Its area is approximately 15,000 square kilometers, almost half the size of Ukraine's Zhytomyr region. This territory was formerly part of East Prussia and, after the end of World War II in 1945, came under Soviet control and was renamed the Kaliningrad region. Russia has turned Kaliningrad into a well-fortified military stronghold. However, the war with Ukraine has forced it to withdraw a significant portion of its forces from the region. A reduction in the contingent was already observed in August 2024. At that time, Raimundas Vaikšnoras, commander of the Lithuanian Armed Forces, reported that Russia was compelled to redeploy troops from Kaliningrad to that area due to the Ukrainian advance in the Kursk region. Prime Minister of Hungary Viktor Orban, the problem is the war. If we would integrate Ukraine into the European Union, we would integrate the war.
The problem is the war. If we would integrate Ukraine into the European Union, we would integrate the war. And we would not like to be together in one community with a country who is in war and represent an imminent danger on us. Because if a member of the European Union is in war, it means that European Union is war, and we don't like it.
Russian President Vladimir Putin will not attend next week's annual BRICS summit in Brazil due to concerns over an international criminal court warrant for his arrest in connection with alleged war crimes committed in Ukraine, Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov has confirmed. This is due to certain difficulties in the context of the ICC requirement, Ushakov commented. In that context, the Brazilian government could not take a clear position that would allow our president to participate in this meeting. Instead, the Russian leader is expected to join his BRICS colleagues via video link. Putin has officially been a war crime suspect since the ICC named him in a March 2023 arrest warrant over to the mass deportation of Ukrainian children. Russia stands accused of abducting and deporting tens of thousands of Ukrainian children, with many victims reportedly subjected to ideological indoctrination to rob them of their Ukrainian heritage and impose a Russian national identity. These mass abductions may qualify as genocide according to the 1948 United Nations Genocide Convention, which identifies forcibly transferring children of the group to another group as one of 5 internationally recognized acts of genocide. As a signatory to the Rome Statute that established the ICC, Brazil would be obliged to arrest Putin if he entered the country. Addressing the ICC warrant in 2023, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva initially dismissed talk of detaining the Russian president before backtracking and distancing himself from the issue. If Putin decides to go to Brazil, it's the justice system that will take the decision over whether he should be arrested, not the government or Congress, Lula stated. Putin faced similar uncertainty 2 years ago ahead of the annual gathering of BRICS leaders, which was then being hosted by South Africa. The South African authorities reportedly came under considerable pressure from their Russian colleagues to provide assurances that the Kremlin dictator could travel to the August 2023 event without fear of arrest. Russia has made it clear that arresting its sitting president would be a declaration of war, commented South African President Cyril Ramaphosa in the build-up to the summit. The Africans were ultimately unable to offer any guarantees, forcing Putin to abandon his plans to attend.
Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.